I like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half and half. Alright, good looking out. I like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half. Alright, good looking out.
Tinted window screaming F the law out my mouth. I'm switching lanes from up north to down south. Now everybody trying to figure how I put it down. I took my show on the road straight out of town. Pee-wee is my nigga, so you know I brought some crooks with me.
1998, they tried to throw the book at me.
Tell me what you see every time you take a look at me. A straight P, I only be where the hookers be. A old head, but still can pull any fly chick. One thing's for sure, you never see me ride a nigga dick. I got a thoroughbred who loves to call me pretty daddy. Through Alabama, getting here.
Before we get started with this demonstration,
Everybody knows me. The young niggas love me. They call me they OG. Go and do your homework about the shit that I spit. They gon' tell you that that nigga Shank is legit. A chicken box a half and half when I'm switching lanes.
salute everybody. I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Indianapolis woman charged with the death of daughter after leaving her alone for days. Before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright disclaimer. Another tragic case. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to all my moderators. Salute to the chat. Salute to the Rock Squad. Salute to you, him, and her. Salute to everybody that's checking in from Facebook. Shout out to all my family and friends that's pulling up from Facebook. Another tragic case involving a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old. The 3-year-old lost her life at the hands of her mom. Now, this is coming from Indianapolis. Let's tap into it. I think I turned my volume. Let me turn my volume up.
She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
A mother is now facing charges over the death of her child. We'll break down this case coming up right here on your News at 5. We start first this afternoon with this 2-year-old daughter found dead over the weekend. And that begins our newscast here at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Birshel Edman.
And I'm Dan Spieler. Fox 59's Jesse Wells got a hold of court records today that detail just how this case came to light.
Police were first called to this apartment building behind me by the victim's mother, who reported finding her daughter unresponsive under a dresser. Court records claim that mother admitted to neglecting her kids, who were living in filth. Here on the ground floor of this apartment building near Shadeland and Fall Creek, 2-year-old Skylar Gardner died Saturday night. Police claim the little girl and her young sibling were living in horrific conditions, with the apartment floor and walls covered in feces amidst a stench of rotting food. According to this affidavit, the girl's mother, Chantel Gardner, told police she left her young children home alone for several hours every day and night while she spent time at her boyfriend's house.
Clearly, the state has a good case to show that she was neglect of a dependent.
Attorney Mario Masalamani isn't connected to the case, but says while Indiana law doesn't specify an exact age at which a child can be left home alone, parents can be charged with neglect if they abandon their children, deprive them of necessary support, or leave them in a situation that endangers their life.
The law doesn't specify a specific age because the law doesn't want to specify an age. In this situation, you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Clearly, they're not able to stay by themselves.
Police say Gardner confessed she came back to the apartment once a day to feed her 2 kids and often found them covered in feces. Gardner admitted she knew she was neglecting her kids, but insisted she never physically harmed the children herself.
So in neglect of a dependent, you don't have to show that she intentionally tried to harm them. She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
While it's not clear exactly how the 2-year-old girl died, doctors at Riley Hospital say they found a large puncture wound to her neck and her whole body was covered in bruises. Finally, the suspect is being held on a $100,000 bond. She's due in court for an initial hearing later this week. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
Jesse, thank you. Neglect of a dependent resulting in death is a level 1 felony carrying a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison.
Now it's a lot of ways that we could look at this, all right? But first, let's look at it how the state is looking at this, right? And if I could get everybody to throw up some hands, if I could get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for 80s, baby. If I could get everybody to throw up some prayer hands for 80s, baby. And also throw up some prayer hands for this family. Now, what they're saying that it's more of a neglect case than it is an actual homicide case, because they're saying just because the mother left the children at home alone, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. The little girl that passed away was 3 years old. Her brother was 4. The brother didn't die. Now, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. Now, it's saying, okay, well, just because the mother left them at home alone, it's you can't prove that she intentionally knew that they were going to die. Well, the last time I checked, a 3-year-old nor a 4-year-old can provide food. I don't know a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old that can fix their own food. This is a mom. This is a mother. Okay, we definitely know it's a neglect case, but for the mother to not know willingly, now she said it, she left them there days. She would come in, and, you know, once a day, she would feed them. Let me get everybody to welcome in a new subscriber, Tracy Parker. Appreciate you for pulling up, Tracy Parker. Rock Squad and moderators, give Tracy Parker a warm welcome. Appreciate you for pulling up. So she knew. I'm a father. You know, anybody with common sense is going to know if I leave a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old alone and only come to feed them once a day, 10 times out of 10, or at least 9 times out of 10, they're going to lose their lives. Chen says, what was the reason why she left them alone? According to the mother now, and this is according to the mother, she left them alone to stay at the boyfriend's house. They're charging the boyfriend as well, because she claims that the house is cold. It gets more graphic and it gets deeper. Let's just get to the more graphic part. I'll show y'all some pictures. I'm sure. I mean, you can't make this up. You really can't make this up. Now you leave a 3-year-old, you leave a 4-year-old in these living conditions. This is the home that the 3-year-old and 4-year-old was left in. And the mother only visit once a day, and that was to feed them once a day. 3-year-old, 4-year-old. This is the living conditions. That's the living conditions. While she shacked up over at the boyfriend's house. The boyfriend is not the father of those children. But let's take a deeper dive into what we're working with.
2-year-old girl is dead, found allegedly neglected, covered in bruises, and abandoned in a home so filthy it's being called a biohazard. Let's jump right in. For Law and Crime, I'm Kennedy Walker. This photo from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, obtained by Fox 59, reveals the horrifying conditions an Indianapolis woman allegedly subjected her children to, leaving them alone for days on end. The bedroom was nothing short of a nightmare. The mattress and crib were covered in feces, and police say that trash, urine, garbage, and rotten food were scattered across every surface in the apartment. Meet 33-year-old Chantel Garner. The mother, police say, is behind the horror. She's been arrested and charged with murder and child neglect. According to authorities, Garner called 911 after finding her daughter, 2-year-old Skylar, unresponsive under a dresser. But the details of what happened before that moment are chilling. Documents obtained by Fox 59 indicate preliminary findings suggest Skylar died from hypothermia, with frostbite clearly visible on her feet and hands. During the investigation, authorities found the apartment's rooms were shockingly cold, with temperatures ranging from just 46 to 51 degrees. The apartment's furnace wasn't working properly, yet Garner allegedly never reported it to maintenance. Instead, she left her children to endure the frigid temperatures. According to court records, Skylar's body was covered in bruises on her arms, legs, face, back, and groin. A large puncture wound on her neck was also discovered, possibly caused by a rodent after her death. As for the mother's explanation, documents state the 33-year-old said her daughter's vaginal bruising was a result of her diapers not being changed enough. She denied ever sexually assaulting her, but allegedly admitted she knew she was neglecting both of her children by leaving them home alone. In documents, she allegedly told police the children didn't always behave, so leaving them home was easier. It went on to say eventually Garner stayed away from the apartment altogether due to the foul odor and instead stayed at her boyfriend's home, allegedly bringing her children food only once a day. Her boyfriend, Brian Thomas, is also facing charges, including 2 counts of assisting a criminal. Here to break down this case with me is trial attorney Chris.
Yes, Marty, they were 2 and 3. Thanks for clearing that up for me, Marty. They were 2 and 3. The little girl was 2 years old, and the brother was 3. The brother didn't die, but they were 2 and 3. See, and after watching this, how do you contain your, how can you keep from not cussing and yelling and just when we see stuff like this, like she was supposed to be a rapper. And y'all know what? I have to apologize. I have to apologize to you all for when I took up for Sexy Red. And and I'm not throwing Sexy Red under the bus. I'm not going to throw her under the bus because she don't have nothing to do with this. But I get it. And you know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I get it. But this is what our rappers, she was supposed to have been a rapper. Man. Like the living conditions alone, you up over there with homeboy, you knew the house was in the living conditions. and didn't even notify maintenance. Maintenance would have at least got the heat running. Where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? Just, I'm gonna have to come to the chat, y'all, to get my thoughts. Cause salute, y'all, salute, brother. I see everybody down there. Salute. Positive vibes says shaking my head. Like that condition, that situation, it shouldn't have never came down to that. Salute, Roberta. Salute, salute. That's one of those situations. Some situations you can kind of like be like, damn, that's a messed up situation. But you know what? I got a little sympathy for the mother, or you know, I can understand. But to be laid up with your boyfriend, my man, at first when I was going over the case, at first I felt like that the boyfriend shouldn't have been charged, but the boyfriend knew. He knew those conditions that them kids were in. So in my opinion, I'm glad that they did charge the boyfriend as well. Tracy says, what kind of man wants a woman that neglects her babies? Look, for me, I couldn't even just have a sexual thing with the mother, let alone that be my girlfriend. If that's my girlfriend, oh, hell no. I'm that man. I'm going to make sure that these kids ain't in this living condition. First, I'm going to tell the mother, we going to clean up this house. We going to clean this apartment up first. Second, we going to keep this apartment clean. Third, when you come to visit me, bring them kids. What she say? The kids was bad. The kids was always getting into trouble. All right, I'm a man. I can fix that. It's a 2-year-old. It's a 3-year-old. Those are the most easiest of the children to fix. They babies. All you got to do with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old is keep their bellies full. Make sure they're clean. Make sure their diaper is clean. Let them run around. Eventually, a 2 and a 3-year-old is going to tire themselves out. Then they're going to fall asleep. It's a 2 and a 3-year-old. Chance says, what's wrong with people these days? Jamie says, protect our children. Lord have mercy. Like that situation right there, that's uncalled for. Salute, Pee-wee. Salute. That's uncalled for. Positive says, laid up with her phone. Yeah. I was trying not to go to that funky, I was trying, but come on, man. If that ain't a funky ass, then I don't know what a funky ass is. If that ain't a funky ass hoe, I don't know what a funky ass hoe is. You laid up with my man. You laid up with homie. Salute, Florida Queen. How did the neighbors ignore that? A real man wouldn't want to be with a woman who is that nasty. So something is wrong with him too. Like because when you lay down with her and you see the filth, you see how she just leaving her children around. Now you laying down with her. What if you impregnate her? What if you put a seed up in her? So you see the type of mother that she already is. You see the type of mother that she is. But these babies, man, what is this to say about us? These babies. I mean, just look at the living. Let's just look. Ew. That's nasty. Who lives like this? look. Do y'all know anybody that lives like this? But look at her. And I have to say this. I have to say this. And it's not all. I'm not going to say all. Salute Maria. Salute Maria. Tracy says, this hurts my heart to see this. I'm sure someone could have watched them babies. Hell, I would have watched them and kept them clean and fed them. Me too. I'd have did it for free. Knowing that was they living arrangements, I'd have done it for free. Salute Maria. Ross says, I bet dude house was immaculate. You know that. You know that. Salute Miss Parker. Sadger says, both of them are guilty as hell. They must be dealt with. And when you see, and it go both ways, but this is why I say, for me, I don't care how pretty a woman looks on the outside. I don't care about her physical, her fatigue, because a woman, she could be pretty, she could be drop gorgeous dead. She could be drop gorgeous dead. I mean, nice body and all. And if y'all look harder, look close enough in a lot of those pictures that they be posting on social media, believe it or not, some of those pretty women, them drop gorgeous dead women, some of them is trifling, just like this young lady is. Some of them are trifling. And fellas, just like I say it to the ladies, I tell the ladies all the time, they got to choose better men to lay down with. They got to choose better men to be with. Fellas, I'm telling y'all the same thing. Y'all got to choose. Y'all got to be careful of the women that y'all lay down with. If you are with a woman, and she's that trifling, you don't need to be with that woman. You just don't. We are in some serious times. I don't know all the answers. But honestly, I do believe, and y'all could build with me or destroy it, but I do believe that along with action, because action, we got to take action. I do believe that we need prayer. We as a nation, we as a people, we need prayer. We all need prayer. Because I can go back many years ago when people prayed more, when there was more praying than it was partying and having a good time, at least people was right. Marty says, Shank, I'm wondering if he ever went to her house. And that's a good question. Maybe he just didn't know. And that's a good question, Marty. Maybe my man didn't know. Pee Wee says, what kind of man lay up with a woman that don't clean herself? He was just as dirty. I'm going to read your comment because I'm not getting all of y'all comments. Let me read Brother Nazir's comment. Brother Nazir says, that's embarrassing to me. And it's not even my house. Any dude who would be with a woman who keep her house like that is equally as nasty. And that's facts. That's facts. Salute, Perk. I see you, Perk. Appreciate you for pulling up. That's facts. I'm going to run the clip back for those that just pulled up. And I've been in situations like that. Not that filthy. I've never been in a situation like that. I've never encountered a woman, a female that was dirty. That's dirty. Now, I've been with females. I done met females, you know, and I go to their house and everything. They might got some dirty clothes that, you know, the clothes might be stacked up, something like that. And I offer them. I'll be like, you ain't got no wash machine in here or nothing like that. I don't got no wash machine. I can't find no ride to the laundromat. I'll be like, come on, let's go. Especially if she got kids. Now, if she ain't got no kids, then I ain't doing all that. Appreciate that super sticker, Miss Parker. Appreciate that super sticker. But whenever I would deal with a woman and she had kids, and if it was like dirty clothes, because I understand, especially in them apartments, they don't have wash machines and dryers. And, you know, female just can't make it to the laundromat or whatever. So, you know, I'll be like, get your clothes. Come on, I'll take you to the laundromat. Well, my check don't come. I got $20. Don't even worry about that. Let's go. Then that's going to be the only time that I'm going to do it. You know, a couple times I've been in situations like that. Go to the bra house or whatever. Or on the phone, I might be like, what you doing? You know, trying to hook up. And she might be like, I'm cleaning up. I got to clean up or whatever. You can come over, but I'm cleaning up. I go over the house. She clean up. All right, wait, give me a broom. Give me a broom. Because cleanliness is next to godliness. And I was brought up with chores. My friends, Pee-wee, Tommy, and all of us, we had chores. And if we would go to Pee-wee in their house, and if Pee-wee and them doing their chores, we would jump in and help Pee-wee and them clean up, vice versa. They're going to help me because we couldn't go outside. Pee-wee says, how don't her family and friends allow her to live like that? Positive says, if she dirty, then you can't use her cleaning product. Positive vibes wouldn't be positive vibes. You know what, positive vibes? I'm going to time your funky ass out. How about that, positive vibes? And Jamie, I'm going to time your funky ass out too. Anybody that laughs with positive vibes when she roasting me, I'm going to time y'all asses out. Now how y'all like that? But y'all funky asses. Appreciate the membership, Miss Parker. But I'm gonna run the news clip for those that just pulled up. Appreciate that super sticker, Chen. But we gotta be better men, and we gotta be better women. Perk, don't you do it. Perk, I will time your ass out, Perk. Don't you Perk. You run with Miss Parker, positive vibes, and Jamie and them if you want, Perk, and I will time your ass out with them. But seriously, on a serious note, y'all, we do need prayer. We need prayer because it's going to take a divine intervention with all of this, y'all. Y'all see where we at. But let me run a clip for those that just pulled up to catch y'all up on what we're dealing with. It's 2 clips I'm going to run for y'all. Catch everybody that just pulled up. Catch them up where we at.
She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
A mother is now facing charges over the death of her child. We'll break down this case coming up right here on your News at 5. We start first this afternoon with this 2-year-old daughter found dead over the weekend. And that begins our newscast here at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Birshel Edman.
And I'm Dan Spieler. Fox 59's Jesse Wells got a hold of court records today that detail just how this case came to light.
Police were first called to this apartment building behind me by the victim's mother, who reported finding her daughter unresponsive under a dresser. Court records claim that mother admitted to neglecting her kids, who were living in filth. Here on the ground floor of this apartment building near Shadeland and Fall Creek, 2-year-old Skylar Gardner died Saturday night. Police claim the little girl and her young sibling were living in horrific conditions, with the apartment floor and walls covered in feces amidst a stench of rotting food. According to this affidavit, the girl's mother, Chantel Gardner, told police she left her young children home alone for several hours every day and night while she spent time at her boyfriend's house.
Clearly, the state has a good case to show that she was neglect of a dependent.
Attorney Mario Masalamani isn't connected to the case, but says while Indiana law doesn't specify an exact age at which a child can be left home alone, parents can be charged with neglect if they abandon their children, deprive them of necessary support, or leave them in a situation that endangers their life.
The law doesn't specify a specific age because the law doesn't want to specify an age. In this situation, you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Clearly, they're not able to stay by themselves.
Police say Gardner confessed she came back to the apartment once a day to feed her 2 kids and often found them covered in feces. Gardner admitted she knew she was neglecting her kids, but insisted she never physically harmed the children herself.
So in neglect of a dependent, you don't have to show that she intentionally tried to harm them. She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
While it's not clear exactly how the 2-year-old girl died, doctors at Riley Hospital say they found a large puncture wound to her neck, and her whole body was covered in bruises. Finally, the suspect is being held on a $100,000 bond. She's due in court for an initial hearing later this week. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
Jesse.
Now we going, like I said, we're gonna look at this. Now the law, they say by law, and maybe this is just out there in Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, the law, it don't give a specific age on when you can leave your children in the house alone or not. I see you all in the queue. Salute all in the queue. And I'm going to tell you, Top Flight, you run with my troublemakers if you want to, Top Flight. And I'm going to time you out too. And let me just let y'all know, please stay away from my good buddy, all in the queue. All my troublemakers, please stay away from all in the queue. All in the queue, if they try to recruit you, please stay away from my troublemakers, all in the queue. But now, he said that the law, okay, Marty says Michigan's law is the age of 12. So I guess Indiana is different. But, I mean, come on, at 2 years old and 3 years old, I mean, come on now. I'm going to run the last clip, and then we're going to chop it back up for those that just pulled up.
A 2-year-old girl is dead, found allegedly neglected, covered in bruises, and abandoned in a home so filthy it's being called a biohazard. Let's jump right in. For Law and Crime, I'm Kennedy Walker. This photo from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, obtained by Fox 59, reveals the horrifying conditions an Indianapolis woman allegedly subjected her children to, leaving them alone for days on end. The bedroom was nothing short of a nightmare. The mattress and crib were covered in feces, and police say that trash, urine, garbage, and rotten food were scattered across every surface in the apartment. Meet 33-year-old Chantel Garner. The mother, police say, is behind the horror. She's been arrested and charged with murder and child neglect. According to authorities, Garner called 911 after finding her daughter, 2-year-old Skylar, unresponsive under a dresser. But the details of what happened before that moment are chilling. Documents obtained by Fox 59 indicate preliminary findings suggest Skylar died from hypothermia, with frostbite clearly visible on her feet and hands. During the investigation, authorities found the apartment's rooms were shockingly cold, with temperatures ranging from just 46 to 51 degrees. The apartment's furnace wasn't working properly, yet Garner allegedly never reported it to maintenance. Instead, she left her children to endure the frigid temperatures. According to court records, Skylar's body was covered in bruises on her arms, legs, face, back, and groin. A large puncture wound on her neck was also discovered, possibly caused by a rodent after her death. As for the mother's explanation, documents state the 33-year-old said her daughter's vaginal bruising was a result of her diapers not being changed enough. She denied ever sexually assaulting her, but allegedly admitted she knew she was neglecting both of her children by leaving them home alone. In documents, she allegedly told police the children didn't always behave, so leaving them home was easier. It went on to say eventually Garner stayed away from the apartment altogether due to the foul odor and instead stayed at her boyfriend's home, allegedly bringing her children food only once a day. Her boyfriend, Brian Thomas, is also facing charges, including 2 counts of assisting a criminal.
Here to break down this case with me is trial attorney.
The children, according to her, the children didn't always behave. She had a mark, something on her back or shoulder that possibly came from a rat. Are you serious, man? I mean, it's so much in this case. Like, it's just, they listed so much. Where do you begin? What do you focus in on that? It was easier, the mother now, it was much easier to just leave them home because they didn't behave. A 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, they gonna do what a 2 and a 3-year-old do. Are you serious? Salute, Jay. Jay says, this hurt me to the core, man. It gonna hurt any of us. You know, I'm hurting with you, Jay. We all hurting. It's like, you know, you want to scream to the top of your lungs. You want to cuss. You know, you want to use the F word. You just want to straight go off. And that's another thing, Marty, the vaginal bruises. She says from a diaper rash. God, you know what I mean? The baby got vagina bruises on. Like, God damn. Jay says these kids had no chances. This is so sick. Just sick. Now, maybe my man, maybe the boyfriend, maybe he didn't know. I don't know. But if he knew that them babies was in them living conditions, but I do believe Top Flight says 100. Perp says people like that don't need to have any kids. They really don't. They really don't. They really don't, y'all. Perp says, oh, I believe he knew because they did charge him. Then they is charging the boyfriend. So they charging the boyfriend. Man, we got to get our priorities straight. Our priorities is to them babies. You know what I mean? The babies is our first priorities. Jay says, bruises from a diaper rash, my ass. This is a demon doing this to our beautiful black babies. Positive says, I believe he knew, he just didn't care because they wasn't his kids. You right, Positive. I'm shaking my head. You right. And Perp says he was as terrible as her since he knew. Right. And things like that, it's just common sense. Like, you don't even have to teach a person what they done was wrong. It's just common sense. But I know people tell me all the time, Shank, everybody wasn't born with common sense. People tell me all the time, Shank, everybody wasn't born with common sense. I'm just, is it something in the air? Is it something in the food? Is it something in the water? Like, what is really going on? Jay says, this is so sick, man. They knew it was wrong, and hopefully karma bites back. That's how I am. Me, I'm just keeping it 100. I lean more towards an eye for an eye. And, you know, that's just me. In this situation like this, an eye for an eye. Some situations, like I said, some situations, I be like, man, I got sympathy. Some situations I'll be like, I feel sorry, or I can understand this. I'm praying that karma comes back. Come on, man. Come on. I'm gonna drop this link before we get out of here. If anybody want to come up and weigh in on it, feel free to click the link and come on up before we get out of here. Miss Parker got a live coming up at 8. I think Perk, I'm not sure if Perk got a live coming up, but Perk, if you got a live coming up this evening, just put on there the time. But make sure everybody pull up on Miss Parker and Perk. Jay says, this is a situation I can't speak on, but these babies deserve justice. That's one thing I will speak on. Appreciate that, Jay. Slide in, Marty.
For the first 3 minutes that you came on, I couldn't wait for you to drop that link. I could not wait. I didn't want to come in the live because I'm over here with my mom and my dad. Okay. But I had to come up. I couldn't wait till you dropped the link. So they said that the boy is being charged as well. And like I put in the chat, I'm wondering if he ever went to her house. But she says that she left her house because the stench was so bad. So then that means that you had to smell as well. I was looking, my sister was showing my mama the pictures because I say I can't, I'm on here so I can't, I'm reading the comments. My mother was appalled. I mean, absolutely appalled. There was no way that you can walk in that house. Who lives like that? If you wanted to go out and get you some butt, what? I'm quite sure you got family or you got friends. You can't tell me you didn't know anybody in Indianapolis. You knew nobody that could keep your kids. Absolutely horrible. And for you to say, and I didn't hear this the first time you ran that clip, but I heard it the second time, that there was vaginal bruising. And she's going to say, oh, I never sexually assaulted my children. It came from a diaper rash. Boo-boo, I cannot wait until this autopsy report come out because I know they're going to do an autopsy report. I can't wait. And if somebody did something to that baby in a sexual manner, all of their asses should be thrown up under the jail. I am so infuriated about that. I hate to leave my kid to go down to the gas station, which is like 30 seconds from my house. You gonna leave your kids every day and come back and feed them once a day? You see how deplorable your house is. Heck, walking in their house is a hazard, a health hazard. It's accident prone. And you gonna leave your babies in there. You got the nerve to have all these pictures up on whatever they were with some damn Daisy Dukes booty shorts on, looking like a 9 instead of a 10, but your baby's living in shit like that. That's crazy to me. I mean, see, this is what you're talking. And she ain't young. I was getting ready to say about young people having babies young. She's 32. The babies is 2 and 3. That is crazy. So you're not that young to have a house looking like that, putting your babies in, and then you don't call. I'm mad. The baby, they said, had evidence of frostbite on her hands and her feet. Give me a break. I'm mad. I'm sorry. My mama looking at me like I'm crazy. But it's crazy.
She didn't even call the maintenance. She didn't even call maintenance.
Right.
To get the fix.
Right. So I was talking to my baby sister when she came in and she was telling me, I thought that it was here. But then when I saw your thing and she was telling me something about that, and then when I got your notification and then you kept saying things, I told my baby sister, I says, that's what Shank is talking about now. She was like, oh, I thought it was here. I said, no, it's in Indianapolis. We were talking about that before you came on, and I had no idea that your demonstration was going to be on there. Hey, my Pee-wee.
Hey, salute everybody. Yo, Shank, I had to jump in on this one, yo, because you know my background, bro. Like, that's some trifling crazy. Yo, this is what I got to say. Like, And I keep telling y'all, and I gotta express this to y'all, like, yo, mental health is real in our community. Mental health is real. Like, she said that she knew that she was aware of the stench in her own home. I'm talking about looking at the facts. She said that she knew that she only came there once a day to feed her own kids. Something mentally has to be wrong with you to do something like this. We put our bodies are sufficient for us at least to eat twice a day or twice every 24 hours. So yo, you talking about babies that don't know how to feed themselves. She said, and then listen, she had enough sense to leave to go to her boyfriend's house. Come on, bro. Like, come on. So you gonna leave for your own well-being, but leave your kids.
Pee Wee,
Wow.
Pee Wee. Now, this is one thing that I got to disagree with you. I understand you in that field, but so now you gonna try to put that on mental health. So you
That's
think that she got a mental health issue? That heifer ain't got no mental health issue. She just need her
no,
ass whooping. She
no.
trifling. Pee Wee,
Listen,
I'm
mental.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No. This is to understand that mental health got dimensions of mental health because you got to understand. Like she didn't have the. She wasn't mentally aware, and if she was mentally aware, where was her care and her concern for the health, for the safety of her children?
She has no maternal instinct. You have no
Okay.
maternal instinct, but that
So
ain't
you
mental
got to have
health. I
that
don't think
that.
that's mental
Listen.
health.
Where you want to call it, whatever. That's what it is. I'm telling you what they're gonna label it. They're gonna say even if she did have, even if she, and then if she don't have mental health, the eternal instinct, it's still it's whatever she done to them kids to make that child lose her life. It's got to be something wrong there. We don't know what her background is, and then for the dude, what kind of dude gonna do? I'm not even who would go in a, but that's why he ain't going there.
That's what I was wondering. I asked Shank. I'm like, I wonder if
That's
he
why
has
he
ever
ain't going
been
there.
there.
She had to go to his house, or even she was ashamed of going to our own house. And if he been there because he's been charged, nigga, you didn't report this. We talking about the Good Samaritan Act. We talking about if you know something, say something. We talking about that.
Right.
We got you got to talk about what we got to deal with. So if you knew, so you're just as wrong because you knew the condition of her house and her children was there, and you left them there and allowed her to come to your house.
But you know what, Pee Wee, I think when I listened to the thing, I I really don't think that he possibly knew, according to the news, but he knew that she was leaving her 2 and 3 year old at home and coming to lay up with him. So that is the reason that they charged him.
Okay, I get that, but let's
Yeah.
but let's look at this. He knew she had kids.
Exactly. Exactly.
He knew he wasn't a baby father. He
Right.
wasn't. He knew that she had kids.
And
So
was over
listen,
there with him.
right. And then the thing about it is, why would you allow you? Now, my concern would be like, yo, you ain't gonna go check your kids. I'm talking about trifling. When I was trifling, whatever. Oh, you ain't gonna go check on the kids.
Right. What
You
kind
ain't
of
gonna go
man
see
are
how the
you?
kids doing. She said she fed them once a day. You talking about a
I
2 and
know.
a 3-year-old? Come on,
That's
bro.
horrible.
That's crazy.
It's horrible.
That's
And you're right, Pee Wee. We don't know her backstory, but the eyes of people looking at her, looking how dolled up she is, knowing that you got a 2 and 3 year old and they're living in conditions like this. You knew that. You knew,
right.
but you have no family. You know, you're concerned about self gratification out trying to get your ass wet and your baby at home with her ass wet, with feces, with urine. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy. I'm sorry, Shank, for cussing,
No, you
but
good.
I'm
You
I'm
good.
irritated. I am irritated to my soul. And mental health, I don't know if if the heifer got mental health issues or not, but
I'm
I
gonna
hope
jump
she
back
rots in
in.
jail.
All right. Appreciate you, Pee Wee.
Bye, Pee Wee.
You know, that's
It's absolutely ridiculous to me. She doesn't look like she has mental health issues. She's
No.
all dolled up on the pictures that they have her on. She's all dolled up. Not even that picture. Not even that picture. The one another picture that
So don't talk to me about where I sit at.
Oh,
Because you could have got someone you wanted to be.
Mute your mic, people. You get in trouble. Mute your mic.
It's a minibus. I ain't never been on bus.
I'm trying to mute it for him. Mute your bike, Pee Wee.
No, and I was listening or looking at some of the comments, and the comments are all warranted. All of them are warranted. You know, because how you gonna do babies like that? If I wanted to go out and get me some, hey, Mom, can you watch the baby?
Right.
My neighbor, can you watch the baby?
Right.
That's horrible. Now, when I say she ain't in her right mind, but I don't mean that she has been documented as having a mental health issue. She could be, like I said, we don't know the backstory, but on the surface, we see her, we see her dolled up, we see her admitting that she left her babies at home. She admittedly was going there once a day to feed them. She admittedly left them every day so she can lay up with this Negro. Where are her priorities with that Negro? I'm sorry.
And I hear what you're saying, Pee Wee. I get what Pee Wee is saying, but you're gonna have to do a lot of proving to prove that that's a mental illness case, because if that can be proven as a mental illness case, then I'm sure we all will be able to get away with,
Exactly.
I mean,
I know, speechless. I know. Crazy.
What is mental illness first? Because I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor. But what is mental illness first? Let's determine what mental illness is, because and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I know people that has been diagnosed with mental illness disorders, but they still know right from wrong, Marty.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And look, I have zero thinking that this woman has mental illness problems, because if she had mental illness problems, she ain't that crazy that she want to go and lay up with homeboy and get her butt wet.
Tell you.
Get her butt wet. I don't believe it.
Why? See, let me be quiet, because you know my foul mouth. I get the so let me just finish, Marty. Let me be quiet.
I mean, no, it's like I said, 3 minutes after you went on, I'm like, Shank, I know you gonna drop this link. I know. And I'm surprised that other people haven't gotten up here enraged and put their 2 cents in, because this is crazy. It's like, look, this has to be a learning. So actually, people are supposed to learn from incidents like this. Number one, you have to protect our babies. Our babies are our future. You got to protect our babies, but if you can't protect your babies, give them to somebody who can. I'm following a trial right now. Megan Boswell. It's out of Tennessee. Out of Tennessee. The baby's name was Evelyn Boswell. And today was day 4. They had court today. This woman, I think this woman got a little touch of mental illness, because she lied to everybody. I mean, everybody. She put this baby on a man who was in the service, and come to find out, that ain't his baby. When her father would ask, "Where's my grandbaby?" "Oh, she with the daddy, Ethan." Well, Ethan is in the service. How you with the daddy? Her best friends she started coming around her best friends without her baby in December. The granddaddy, Evelyn's granddaddy, which is her dad, there's a whole bunch of stuff that went on without her lying and stuff. But people started asking, well, hey, where is baby Evelyn? Where's baby Evelyn? And the daddy, her daddy, kept asking her about the baby. So he called protective services because he wanted to see his baby. Shank, by the time, like Nikki said, make a long story short, they found the baby in a white trash can inside of a black plastic bag on the granddaddy's property in a makeshift dollhouse outside. It was like a barn, but it was a playhouse. The baby, they called her in. This happened December the 23rd. Well, we're figuring because that's the last time anybody ever saw the baby was December 23rd. This was February 22nd. They brought her in for questioning. She was like, they were asked like, well, why didn't you call? When were you going to let the authorities know that your baby was missing? Considering you said that the daddy wouldn't give him back to you. She was like, oh, well, I was going to report it tomorrow because he said that he was going to bring the baby back today. Everything was a bunch of lies, even they had the supposed daddy on the stand. They brought him in from the service, and he was like, I had questions, and his daddy took him for a DNA. It's absolutely crazy. So you kill this baby, suffocate her. We don't have the autopsy report yet, but you didn't want this baby. Why the grandparents love this baby? If you had issues, why couldn't you just give them to one of them? The same thing with her right here. If you didn't want to take care of your babies, give them to somebody that will. I saw yesterday on the news that a newborn baby was dropped off to a police station. And like the police, the news reporter said, at least the mother of this child, because here in Michigan, you can drop them off at a church or the fire station or the police department, no questions asked. At least that mother thought enough of her baby, knowing that she couldn't take care of them, to give them to somebody or leave them where they know that the baby was going to be taken care of. This girl and the girl in Tennessee, I don't know what's on y'all damn mind. Keep your legs closed then.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You don't got my blood pressure up. Down, go get me a beer. I'm telling you, it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. If you know within yourself that you cannot take care of our children, give them to somebody who can, who's going to give them a chance at life. This little 2-year-old girl ain't had no chance at life. The same thing with Evelyn. Evelyn, I think she was 14 or 16 months old. That's crazy. Okay, I think that's all I got to say. My mama say, you stop all that hollering because I'm mad. But she was also commenting about that, so she can't get mad at me. Well, mama, I'm on the.
And
That's
see,
crazy.
Marty, it's so much. Like it was so much that I couldn't even remember everything in this case. It's so much. The diaper, the bruises,
the diaper rash.
Yeah,
right.
The
vaginal bruising.
Yeah, her not calling maintenance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just like,
God. And you live in an apartment structure. With the apartment buildings that we manage and stuff, that's an emergency call. This is not something, well, we're going to put it on the back. No, especially in the wintertime, that's an emergency call. Water line break, that's an emergency call. So she could have had, if she had contacted maintenance, she could have had the heat fixed that day. That's crazy. And then let the baby get frostbitten. That's crazy. Only thing I can say is that's crazy. Not saying she crazy. The situation is crazy because I don't think that heifer was crazy. She was hot in the ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And she ain't kid.
Look at her house and see if you care. I'm telling you, if my good friend saw that house, she'd probably be in a nut house because she's so OCD. It's crazy. Nikki Lynn, if you in the chat. Yeah, she OCD, and if she saw this house, she would probably flip. Seriously. And then they said that it was a health, they called it hazmat, something that the news called it. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's crazy. Heifer, that's a baby. I don't even have no girls. Lord wouldn't bless me with a girl, except for my granddaughter. But I didn't have a girl. You got a girl. Those are your queens. You're supposed to take care of them. Isn't it because you want to go and get a wet ass every night? It don't take all that. That's crazy.
Because it wasn't just one night that she left. Multiple nights.
Exactly. Exactly. There are no words for her. And they said that with the 2 charges, and if this baby was sexually assaulted, and if it's brought out in an autopsy, oh, she needs an additional charge for that as well.
Me personally, I think it should be homicide. I think it should be a homicide.
Well, they said that they charged her with murder. They said murder and neglect of a child, or the M word. I'm sorry. That's what the news said. Those are her charges. So that is homicide. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Jay says that, I don't know if it's a male or a female, but Jay says, I'm enraged. And I'll talk if you want me to. We'll come up on the panel, Jay. Hit that link. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And Marty, it's so many, like the case you following down there in Tennessee. It's like this is like the norm now.
And it's crazy. Even though the girl was 17, I don't care if you were 17 when she had the baby. She had the baby in the foster home, and she was in a foster home because her dad put her out. She was living in one of her dad's trailers. If you think that the pictures that you showed was disgusting, you should have seen those pictures from that house in Tennessee. And this was a trailer park. Absolutely. And she lived in there.
That's the Evelyn Boswell case, Marty.
The baby's name was Evelyn Boswell. The mother's name is Megan Boswell. Today was day 5 of the trial. She went on trial Monday. Yeah, I'm following 2 trials right now. But yeah, don't get my blood pressure up. All right, baby girl, be careful. Yeah, it's Boswell, and it's out of, I forgot what part of Tennessee it's in, but it's in Tennessee.
Yeah, I got it right now. I Googled it.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee, and it's crazy. And then I'm
gonna cover it tomorrow, Marty. I'm gonna cover this tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because see, like I said, I've been watching it from day one, and you need to really read up on it, and the amount of lies that she told until her daddy was like, "Look, I want to see Evelyn. Bring me Evelyn." She got a cold, or she's with Ethan. And then when it's all said and done, Ethan was still in the military. So she couldn't have him. And they had Ethan's dad and stepmom on the stand. They never ever saw that baby. Never ever. But yet she's telling all of these people in the TBI and the police investigators and whatever that she had been over there, that baby had been over there. That boy's Ethan's daddy said, I've never laid eyes on Evelyn. Evelyn has never came to my house. My wife has MS and something else. She can barely get around. Does she look like somebody that can babysit a child, an infant? Just her whole lies. And they're catching up with her now. And I don't know at what junction they arrested her, but I know that the interviews was February 22nd, and they put an Amber Alert out. But this baby had not been seen since December. That's crazy to me. Crazy.
Marty, I'm gonna run these last I'm gonna run the clips back and give you your last words, and we
Oh,
go.
I can say my last words now before you run that clip.
Okay.
Her behind should get everything that's coming to her. And sorry, Pee Wee, I do not believe that this is a mental health case. And I'm not judging, I'm just looking at the facts. And Shank, I will talk to you and see you tomorrow.
I appreciate you, Marty.
No problem.
I want to thank everybody for pulling up. Ms. Parker got a live coming up at 8. Perk got a live coming up. I'm not sure what time Perk's, but make sure y'all pull up on Ms. Parker and Perk. I'll run those clips back, and we got to do better. We got to do better. If you have children, father or mother, if you have children and you don't want your children, go to the nearest police department in your community. Go to the nearest church. Go to an emergency room. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. For the mother, if you don't want the children, if the father is able to take care of the children, take the children to the father. We don't want these situations with these children. We don't want them. If you're unable to take care of your child or your children, take them to somebody that can. Salute Yes 2008. Salute Yes 2008. Appreciate you for pulling up. Jay says, yes, brother, no matter what race we are, please save these babies from the evil going round in our hood. And that's what I'm on now. In 2025, I'm not on a black thing. I'm not on a white thing. You know, we over here, there. I'm on a people's thing. That's what I'm on. I'm on advocating for everybody. You know, I'm for working with everybody to make a change, to make things better, you know, because I don't believe that one person can make a change. I don't believe one race. I believe that it's going to take all of us. That's just my opinion. So as long as you're not racist, I'm willing to work with you. I'm willing to whatever it is that you need me to help you with. Just talk to me. But we got to stop. If it's nothing else, we got to stop these killings of these babies. We got to stop neglecting these babies. Even if you was neglected as a baby, our sympathy is for you and prayers are for you. But just because you may have been neglected as a child, don't mean for you to turn around and neglect your child. Always remember, a man, a woman, they're going to take care of the children. And for everybody out there that want to party, you can party. But first, make sure your children is taken care of. And if your children aren't taken care of, then you can't go party. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Salute. I'll run those clips back. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
A mother is now facing charges over the death of her child. We'll break down this case coming up right here on your News at 5. We start first this afternoon with this 2-year-old daughter found dead over the weekend. And that begins our newscast here at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Birshel Edman.
And I'm Dan Spieler. Fox 59's Jesse Wells got a hold of court records today that detail just how this case came to light.
Police were first called to this apartment building behind me by the victim's mother, who reported finding her daughter unresponsive under a dresser. Court records claim that mother admitted to neglecting her kids, who were living in filth. Here on the ground floor of this apartment building near Shadeland and Fall Creek, 2-year-old Skylar Gardner died Saturday night. Police claim the little girl and her young sibling were living in horrific conditions, with the apartment floor and walls covered in feces amidst a stench of rotting food. According to this affidavit, the girl's mother, Chantel Gardner, told police she left her young children home alone for several hours every day and night while she spent time at her boyfriend's house.
Clearly, the state has a good case to show that she was neglect of a dependent.
Attorney Mario Masalamani isn't connected to the case, but says while Indiana law doesn't specify an exact age at which a child can be left home alone, parents can be charged with neglect if they abandon their children, deprive them of necessary support, or leave them in a situation that endangers their life.
The law doesn't specify a specific age because the law doesn't want to specify an age. In this situation, you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Clearly, they're not able to stay by themselves.
Police say Gardner confessed she came back to the apartment once a day to feed her 2 kids and often found them covered in feces. Gardner admitted she knew she was neglecting her kids, but insisted she never physically harmed the children herself.
So in neglect of a dependent, you don't have to show that she intentionally tried to harm them. She just put them in a situation that it risked their lives.
While it's not clear exactly how the 2-year-old girl died, doctors at Riley Hospital say they found a large puncture wound to her neck and her whole body was covered in bruises. Finally, the suspect is being held on a $100,000 bond. She's due in court for an initial hearing later this week. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
2-year-old girl is dead, found allegedly neglected, covered in bruises, and abandoned in a home so filthy it's being called a biohazard. Let's jump right in. For Law and Crime, I'm Kennedy Walker. This photo from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, obtained by Fox 59, reveals the horrifying conditions an Indianapolis woman allegedly subjected her children to, leaving them alone for days on end. The bedroom was nothing short of a nightmare. The mattress and crib were covered in feces, and police say that trash, urine, garbage, and rotten food were scattered across every surface in the apartment. Meet 33-year-old Chantel Gardner. The mother, police say, is behind the horror. She's been arrested and charged with murder and child neglect. According to authorities, Gardner called 911 after finding her daughter, 2-year-old Skylar, unresponsive under a dresser. But the details of what happened before that moment are chilling. Documents obtained by Fox 59 indicate preliminary findings suggest Skylar died from hypothermia, with frostbite clearly visible on her feet and hands. During the investigation, authorities found the apartment's rooms were shockingly cold, with temperatures ranging from just 46 to 51 degrees. The apartment's furnace wasn't working properly, yet Gardner allegedly never reported it to maintenance. Instead, she left her children to endure the frigid temperatures. According to court records, Skylar's body was covered in bruises on her arms, legs, face, back, and groin. A large puncture wound on her neck was also discovered, possibly caused by a rodent after her death. As for the mother's explanation, documents state the 33-year-old said her daughter's vaginal bruising was a result of her diapers not being changed enough. She denied ever sexually assaulting her, but allegedly admitted she knew she was neglecting both of her children by leaving them home alone. In documents, she allegedly told police the children didn't always behave, so leaving them home was easier. It went on to say eventually Gardner stayed away from the apartment altogether due to the foul odor and instead stayed at her boyfriend's home, allegedly bringing her children food only once a day. Her boyfriend, Brian Thomas, is also facing charges, including 2 counts of assisting a criminal.
Here to break down this case with me is trial attorney